When we first adopted the CTID, and then again when we adopted CTID 2, as it's known, it was partly because the hotels were losing what we call, heads in beds. And in the downturn of the economy, that was bad for them, because whether we like it as a community, how the business and the hotels go, it ripples down to everything in our city. It's how our local businesses do, it's how the restaurants do, and let's be honest, the percentage of the TOT tax that the hotels turn over to the city, so it affects our budget as well. It's not the guiding point in why we do things, but we have to understand how it works with everybody. It was very successful, but we began to realize after the first CTID that we didn't necessarily want to keep pursuing what's known as day trippers, folks from San Diego to come over, because we didn't think, although they may come and use our beach, they may come to our parks, we don't think they were providing that much to our businesses, which is what the CTID was adopted to do. So the CTID board themselves realized the best way not to impact residents in Coronado was to market to out-of-town conventions, because those are the type of visitors at the hotels that come, stay here, spend their money in our restaurants, buy items in our stores, but don't necessarily drive here, and don't take a lot of the use of facilities away from our Coronado residents. That's turned out to be true. Our hotels are successful, our TOT revenues are up, but there is concern that CTID did advertise in the last year locally. Not very much, $25,000 out of all their budget, but they were very effective. And many residents heard the local TV and radio advertising and worried that that was bringing those day trippers we didn't want. And so now, I think the council was correct to direct CTID to go back to marketing to the out-of-town conventions, and any marketing they do locally, which does help bring in some of those conventions, to do in a way that won't impact Coronado residents.
What I'm hearing from residents is that one of their main concerns is they understand we're a beach community. They understand that there are going to be a lot of tourists that flock to our town, enjoy our weather, enjoy our beaches. But what concerns them is that the city has effectively sanctioned advertising to local day trippers through the CTID, and that's something that they're not too fond of. That's something they haven't been supportive of. And so I'm opposed to spending advertising resources on attracting day trippers over here. I think we're doing our community a disservice when we're bringing people from across the bridge over to Coronado who simply bring their cars and leave their trash. Now, where the CTID can be effective and where I think we've seen some progress over the last couple years is in the CTID's efforts to really market towards business conventions, the types of tourists that fly in here and they take a charter bus to one of their hotels and they patronize our local businesses, they leave their cars at home, and that's a win-win for the city because it doesn't clog our streets, our local businesses benefit, and our city benefits as well through the tax dollars that generates that allows us to provide services for our residents. So I'm a fan of attracting the right type of tourist, but more important to me is making sure that our residents enjoy a high quality of life, and I think the day trippers at this time kind of detract from that. So I think we need to be supportive of measures that mitigate the impact of tourism, and so in the past I've pushed to end advertising to the local day trippers.